building an indie business in the center of venture capital. I am Alex Edmonds. People on the internet call me SupremeRumHam, and this is the Building an Indie Business podcast. Alright, so today I'm giving you an SEO update because every one of my websites, the domain authority has shot up through the roof. And so I just want to talk about, I'm going to go through each website and talk about why I think the domain authority has been shooting up for each one, and then what I will continue to do to make those SEO scores go up a lot more past what they are right now. Alright, so let's get into it. Overall, why do I think the SEO scores have been shooting up? Because of backlinks. So in the SEO episode, I talked about the reasons why, like the top most important 10 top important factors for SEO and Google. And one of the top most important factors is backlinks. So there's total backlinks, and then there's like do follow backlinks. And the amount of total backlinks has increased because I've been posting everything on different websites, and I've been posting it in new places, right? So another factor is the fact that there's new websites linking back to your website, right? So I found new places. MakerLog, shout out to MakerLog, getmakerlog.com. Every time you post a link there, it's a do follow link. I just discovered recently that Twitch gives a do follow link when you put links in your profile. Buy me a coffee. Every time you make a post on Buy Me a Coffee, that is a do follow link. And then I've added social sharing and like Twitter cards to every website, and Google likes that. And the reason they like that is because I think it like increases, well, I know it increases the chances that someone will find your link on social media, and so yeah, it makes it more accessible in a way. Okay, so starting with building an indie business, the website. Here's why I think the website, the domain authority has shot up. So every time I record an episode, I get a backlink because I go through this whole workflow, is what I've been calling it, and doing that. The workflow includes like creating links for backlinks for the website. So every time I record an episode, I get backlinks, and that increases the score. Alright. I also went into ahrefs.com and I got a scan done of the website, and I fixed all the errors. So I had a ton of broken links. I fixed those. It was very simple things. I had image issues, so every episode page had an image of the podcast cover, and that was too big and it was too bulky for the website. It made it slower, and so I just took it out, which has made the website faster. I had product issues, so Google recognizes blog posts, products, a bunch of other things, and so I had product issues when I had the Gumroad page embedded on the podcasting book page. And so now that I've moved from Gumroad to Stripe, there's that issue doesn't exist. So that's fantastic. So BAIB, the website, was stuck at around 15 for a while, and then in December, like the end of December, it shot up to 30. So that's cool, right? Yeah. Okay. So revenue research. So this is one of my newer websites. Of course, you know this because I started it in October, right? So, and I also want to mention that to get to 30, it took about 9 months. So I started the podcast website in March, and it shot up to 30 in December. 9 months. Okay. So revenue research, I started in October, right? And for a while it was stuck at 10, which is okay. It's pretty easy to get to 10 because every time I created a page, a podcast episode page, I put a link to revenue research in the on the page, and that would give revenue research a backlink. So it was pretty easy for me to get to 10. I did the same thing on Open Podcasts. I put a little link to revenue research on one of the blog posts. Try and find it. I think that'd be really funny if someone try to go in and find that link. Yeah. Okay. So when you start out a new website, it's easy to get to 10, but then it gets stuck there, right? It just stays at 10. And then at the same time that the podcast website shot up to 30, revenue research is now at 16. And I think this is because the website's getting older. It's about 3 months in, so Google is starting to trust it more. And the most important thing in terms of SEO is Google trusting it more, right? And then all those backlinks coming in and growing, right? Because that's over 100 backlinks just from one website. So that's increasing the total backlinks. The backlinks are coming in from websites that Google trusts even more than the podcast website in terms of Twitch and Buy Me a Coffee. Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if revenue research, the domain of 30 is probably more than 30 by the end of summer, because I have the experience of building the SEO score up. So it might get to 30 sooner than 9 months, right? Okay. So the final website that I want to talk about is, of course, Open Podcast. And the reason why I think Open Podcast is the SEO, the domain authority, not the SEO score. I say SEO score, but I mean domain authority. The reason why I think that domain authority shot up is because a lot of people are finding the content on Google. So if people are clicking on it and reading the articles, that means to Google, the people want to read this content, so they're going to put it up there in the search results so that people find it and read it. So those count. That's called a direct visit to Google, and that's the most important thing to Google, is that people are directly interacting with the content. So the most important, the most popular blog posts, I almost said most important blog, okay, are solo podcasting, interviewing, and podcast surveys. So those are the three that get a lot of traffic from Google. the domain authority was stuck at 15, and now it also shot up to 30. I think there's a relation there because I started to focus on SEO for the podcast website and Open Podcasts at the same time in July of 2020. So the fact that their SEO scores or the domain authority are that they're at the same pace is probably related. I would assume. I don't know. So how will I continue to increase the domain authority of my websites? The first thing is I'm going to keep increasing backlinks, total backlinks, and I'm trying to find new places to share my links and get do follow links, right? Because that is important, I guess. You never know. Yeah. Google's a black box, to be honest. I'm just doing what I read. Okay. Another thing is for the podcast website, I guess in revenue research, whatever. I'm going to get rid of the transcript page. So for every podcast episode, there is the link to the episode, which is just like the show notes and the embed of the podcast episode. And then there's the transcript, which has, of course, the transcript, the and everything else, right? So the reason why I want to get rid of the transcript page is I just want to put the transcript on the episode page. And the reason I want to do this is because content length is an important factor for Google, and the episode page is kind of like, it's kind of bare right now. There's less than 500 words on it. But if I add the episode or the transcript to the episode page, that'll increase the content length, because the transcript right now I'm going on 12 minutes, and that's a lot of words and content that it can be added to the website, and it has the same effect, right? Like the transcript page, I don't think it really makes a difference. It has a difference. The difference is that it creates another backlink, but in terms of like quality of content, I don't think it makes a difference. It doesn't make a difference that someone has to click on another page to get the transcript. It makes it even easier for someone to just see the transcript, like scroll to the bottom of the show notes and see that the transcript is there, right? So then that way, my episode pages are getting those keywords that were on the transcripts, right? Yeah. And then the transcript will increase the time on site for people who will read the transcript. Because there are some people that just want to read the transcript, and they might not see like the little link I have to the transcript, but the transcript being right there will they'll be more likely just to read it and scroll through and increase the time on site, which is another important factor. Yeah. And then bounce rate. I think that the fact that my episode pages are very bare, it makes people just want to bounce from the website like as soon as they see it. So the bounce rate is the percentage of people who just click on the link and then leave. So by having the bounce rate and having more content on the website, I think people will like scroll, maybe click on another thing, click on the archive, and then that will lower the bounce rate and improve the SEO score. Okay. And I also want to improve the design of the website a little bit, make it a little easier to use, because I know the transcripts are they're difficult to read sometimes because it's just a lot of content and sometimes it'll stretch out. So I want to improve the design of the website so that the text is a little better organized and people have a less difficult time reading the transcript. So yeah, that's all I have for this SEO update. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.